Every time you bring a memory to mind, you bring it out in a kind of fragile form that what you do with it at that point makes a difference to how it's going to be kind of laid down and remembered again.
Does looking at a picture make you remember the picture and not the actual event?
Yes. Yes, it influences your memory. Absolutely. Whether or not it entirely shifts your memory to that picture is a different question. But there have been all sorts of studies, for example, where this effect has been tested even for things that never happened. Right. So for photoshopped pictures of, for example, someone riding in a hot air balloon in their childhood when they never did, you can show someone that picture, give them a bit of time, and eventually they will come to believe that actually happened.
This is my wife is a huge, she looks at the picture right after. I never will look at it. I'll never look at it.
I find pictures almost painful, actually. I don't know why. I take pictures, but I seldom look at them. And I think partly that's that there's something painful about that experience lost almost. I'm no longer no longer there. It's no longer part of me. But yeah.
I feel the exact same way. That's exactly the way that I feel. That like, no, I don't want to lose that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why do we remember music so well? Why can I just suddenly recite the lyrics for a song that I haven't heard in 15 years?
There's probably a few different ways to answer this, right? So one is the emotionality of music. Music, for depending on the song, depending on the person, depending on the time of your life, it can be a really emotional experience. That emotion adds another hook, another way of getting to that combination of kind of neuronal activity that leads to a memory being retrieved. So that's one way of looking at it. Another is that experience of knowing a song inside out that you knew that you listened to when you were 18, when you were 25. That's a really common experience. That period from 15 to 25, that leads to something called a reminiscence bump. Whether it's music, whether it's the players that played for your favorite sports team, whether it's the nights out you had, we remember those things from that reminiscence bump, 15 to 25, better than any other period of our life. So that's when our brain is healthiest. That's when there's really significant stuff going on in our lives. Lots of hooks to attach those memories to, and it's just one of those. It's as close to a rule within a law within psychology as we've got. 15 to 25 leads to a reminiscence bump. It leads to really memorable memories.
Yeah, I can remember those years very, very well because they're new experiences kind of going out in the
Right.
world. Your brain is fresh, there's emotions to it. You've
Yep.
been loved for the first time,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera.
You're feeling things deeply.
Are there are there certain things that we generally remember better? Like you're going to remember colors better than sounds or places rather than faces. Like are there things that our memory seems to be more geared towards remembering than other things?
Yeah, so there's a lot of variation, but a lot of the time, what we tend to be universally quite good at is spatial memory. So memory for how we navigate to places. It's why a lot of memory researchers who do translational work, so who do work in animals and try and translate that knowledge into humans, that they will often do, for example, spatial tasks in rodents, because that's the kind of best analog for human memory. That's they might argue the building blocks off of which human memory is built. So spatial memory is really good, and spatial memory is also part of the kind of mnemonic devices that I was talking about. The memory palaces rely on routes through a memory palace, routes through, for example, a childhood house, because we tend to remember those patterns better. We tend to find it easiest to remember those things.
Oh, even just sitting here, I can't, like thinking back to my childhood home, I can't remember what color the couch is, but I remember how far away from the TV it was.
Right.